In this challenge review, part 2 for player jumping, we have to fix an issue where basically within the same frame, we're setting grounded to false, but within the same frame, we're setting it back to true. So you'll see here that as soon as I jump, what's happening in the same frame here? If we look at our logic, we're saying if we jump and grounded is true, we jump, and then here we're saying grounded is now false. The problem though is immediately after that, we're casting array and we're saying if hidinfo.collider is not equal to null, then underscore grounded equals true. Now you might be wondering, could we just take this logic and potentially put it above? So let's go ahead and try that. And the reason this probably won't work is because within one frame, it happens so quickly. This program runs at about 60 frames per second. Our raycast would literally have to be millimeters from the ground for something like that to register. But let's go ahead and give this a shot. Go ahead and stop Unity, let Unity compile. And we'll go ahead and run this. Grounded is true, and we still get the same result. So what we need to do here is we need to actually modify this in a way so that we know when we jumped, and we're going to have a cooldown system. So we're going to be using a coroutine basically to reset the ability to detect if we're grounded. So to get started with this, we're basically going to say, hey, if you jumped, grounded is now false, reset the ability to jump, or I need to call a breathe, like basically say, breathe, right? That's what we want to do. We want to reset our jump here. So to get started with this, we're going to say private bool when we'll say reset jump needed, and we'll set that to false. All right, by default, it's going to be reset jump needed is false. And what's going to happen now is as soon as we jump and grounded is equal to false, we now need to say reset jump needed is true. So yes, we need to now say, hey, reset jump is needed. And while reset jump needed is true, we don't want to set the grounded bool back to false or true. So to fix this, what we need to do is we have reset jump needed equals true. Now to avoid us setting grounded to true, because we want to avoid that, we now need to check in here. We need to say if reset jump, so if reset jump needed equals true, then what do we want to do? We want to do nothing, right? So what we can actually do here is if reset jump needed is false, then we're going to say underscore grounded equals true. And this will work just fine. So here we can save our scripts. And what's going to happen now is we now need to say, hey, reset jump needed equals true. If reset jump needed is false, only then are we going to set grounded back to true. If we run this, we're still not quite done. Although now we will be able to jump. The problem though is that we're only ever going to be able to jump one time because we now need to set that reset jump needed back to false. And that's where our coroutine is going to come into play. Watch what happens here when I jump. Grounded is set to true. I jump, it's false, but it's going to stay false. It's never getting reset to true. And the reason for that is because this bool is always true. And it only sets grounded back to true if the reset jump needed is false. So we need to take this variable now and set it to false after, say, 0.1 seconds. The easiest way to do that is going to be through a coroutine. Let's create an IE numerator for our coroutine, and we'll call this reset jump needed routine. And we'll go ahead and we're going to say yield return new wait for seconds. And we're only going to wait 0.1 seconds. So 0.1f. From here, what do we want to do? After we wait a tenth of a second, we are going to say reset jump needed is now equal to false. And now, because that's a true condition here, our grounded is going to get set to true. If we save this, hop back into Unity, you'll see here that if we run the game, our grounded is set to true. If I jump, it's false. And when I land, it's not going back to true like it should be. So let's check the value of that. And actually, it just occurred to me, we never called our coroutine. So that function is actually never getting called. We need to now start this coroutine immediately after setting reset jump needed to true. So we're going to do that right here. Start coroutine, reset jump needed. So we initialize this coroutine, and now the logic is going to say, hey, grounded is false, reset jump needed is true. We're going to call this coroutine. It's going to wait 1/10 of a second. It's going to set reset jump needed equals false. Well, before this coroutine has time to finish or run, what's going to happen is it's going to go through the raycast and it's going to see that reset jump needed is true, and it's going to skip this if statement, preventing us from being grounded while we jump. Now, if we save this, let's run Unity. You can see here on our player that grounded is true. If I jump, we're false. And if I land, we're true. And now we have a working jump. We can't spam it. And now we can jump. I'll see you guys in the next video.